Find insight, guidance, and answers. Tune into Spirit with radio medium Laura Lee.
Welcome back. This is Laura Lee with your 5-Minute Spirit Reboot. If you are not progressing towards a better version of yourself, or maybe even lost sight of your New Year resolutions, this is the episode for you. I have a special guest author with me. USA Today, Wall Street Journal calls her a best-selling author. I'd like to welcome Sherry Fernandez, who wrote the book Life Mastery, Personal Progression Towards an Infinite Potential. Welcome, Sherry.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Laura.
Of course. Sounds like you have some interesting information to share. So what is the basic premise of Life Mastery? Can you give us the lowdown?
The basic premise is that we are happy when we're progressing towards this infinite potential that we have. So progressing towards an infinite potential is the secret to happiness. It's easier to understand when people are stuck there unhappy. We all know that. But we don't often stop and think the other way around. When we're progressing, we don't have to arrive somewhere, just this baby steps forward.
Right. I also read somewhere along the lines in your book is that you said happiness comes towards progressing and fulfillment of goals. So is that what you mean as part of the basics of the premise or the foundation of your book?
Yes, I'd probably flip it around the other way. We need to progress. And so how do you do that? Well, it's very difficult to do if you're not setting goals, but even more importantly than goals, and I see this pretty frequently, systems. Because you said New Year's resolutions, a lot of them fell because people have a good system. It's not because they're weak and we laugh about people not holding on to them ourselves. But the problem isn't the goal or even the commitment. The problem is the systems. And so that's what I offer in Life Mastery. I was frustrated because I couldn't find systems to move forward. I got the motivation, but I couldn't find ways to do that. So I searched and developed a few things and put some things together, and now it's in the book.
So when you say systems, I guess that would be different for everybody depending on what their goal is.
No, I think there's only just a few ways of making changes. What your goal is and how you put it in. In other words, tracking. It's like our to-do list for our personal development, already made up into a calendar, and we check those things off. We get that endorphin high from the little check marks that we make every time we accomplish our thing. Work out, I meditated, I prayed, I drank my water, whatever it is that is important to you. And you just check those off every day and it holds you accountable. Or you might need another system. Maybe you need a really effective system of affirmations so that you can change who you are. Am I a good listener? Well, how am I going to measure that in my tracking sheet? So I need a different system if I want to become a better listener, and that might be a system of affirmations. Maybe I have a one and done things. I want to do a marathon. I have a different system. One and done checklist, 3-month checklist. I put all those things down. I check them off as I do them. So those are the three main systems. And then, of course, planning your day would be a fourth system, making sure that all those things happen.
So when you talk about systems, because I guess that's the Life Mastery, is making sure that the systems are in place. What's the first step out there that you would recommend to anybody who's tuned in right now for finding that system that's right for them?
The first thing I always start with clients is tracking. And I have offered every website I've had for like a dozen years. I've always offered free sheets. You don't even have to make up your own. And we start with tracking some habit that you know that will get you towards your dreams. Oftentimes it's a workout. People struggle with getting that done. Or maybe it's as simple as brushing your teeth. So we start with 1, 2, 3, usually no more than that, things to track. Once you get that out, self-discipline is like a muscle, right? The more you exercise it, the more you've got. So once we get those down, those become habits. We can add another one and another one. And I usually carry about 12 items on my tracking sheet, daily habits that I want to, or it could be weekly, could be monthly.
So you think not having the right system is the reason why people fail, or is there another reason?
No, I think they mostly fail because they have no system at all. We write down our goals, and almost everybody knows that you need to write your goals, right? We've talked about that. It's not written, it's just a wish, and you hear that a lot. Most people understand I've got to write my goals, develop a plan, but then I don't have a system to hold myself accountable to what I plan, and life gets busy, the kids get sick, we're busy at work, this happens, I get caught up over here, and I forgot I was going to do that thing. It's almost like we forget. We get a couple days off, and then we just lose track of it. But with all those things in one place, and every day we have this one habit. We check off our items as we do them. And it sounds maybe too simple, but it works. It's all about habits. The habits that we have is what's getting us forward. I started 40 years ago, and I got tons of self-discipline, but I still use a tracking sheet every day.
Where can people find your book, Sherry, Life Mastery?
Amazon.com, it's Life Mastery by Sherry Sterling Fernandez, and the tracking sheets are available. LifeMasteryInfo.com, and we have a bunch of downloads that are all totally free. So that's 2 ways you can get hold of us. And of course, I'm on all the social media platforms.
Great. Thank you for sharing your wisdom with us. And if you like this episode and you want more, please subscribe to our 5-Minute Spirit Reboot or our podcast at Radio Medium Laura Lee. If you are seeking contact with Beyond for guidance, give me a call, sign up at radiomediumlauralee.com.
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.